Yo, 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 yo. What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up? So yesterday I did an episode, did part one of the premiere of OKC, Houston, Warriors, and Lakers. I did not get to the Warriors stats. So we're gonna conclude this one. I mean, we're gonna start this show off with those stats. And we're gonna talk about last night's games. I got a lot to say about last night's game. I got a lot to say about certain games too. But before we get into last night's games, let's get on to my boy Stephen Curry. I'm gonna pull up his stats real quick, and pretty much the game from the Warriors. We talked about the Lakers. I feel like, yeah, the only team I didn't talk about was the Warriors. So let's get into their stat. They played Tuesday. Um, I like what I saw from the Warriors squad. I'm a huge Curry fan, so I like what I saw from the Warriors squad. I'm gonna go ahead and say that I think the Warriors can come out of the West. I don't give a fuck about OKC winning a championship. I felt like if Curry was healthy last year, they could have went a little further and probably gave them a run for their money. Um, but no disrespect to OKC, they deserved it. Well respect. However, I do like what I saw from this Warriors team. Let's get into it. Jimmy Butler the third, he had 31 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. He was 20 points plus from 20 plus from the floor. He did 50% shooting. He was 7 from 14, 1 from 2 from the 3-point line. He had 16 free throws, 16 free throws attempts. Obviously, between him and Steph Curry, they're the only one that know how to shoot free throws. Didn't make them. We'll get into that later. He also had 1 turnover, 4 personal fouls, 2 and 3 offensive and defensive rebounds. Jimmy had a good game. I feel like the more consistent he gets, I feel like he can be very vital to this team. And I've always felt like that when they acquired Jimmy Butler last year. The only thing I did not like with Jimmy is that when Steph went down, we didn't see Miami Jimmy. And I would have loved to have saw Miami Jimmy when when Steph Curry went down, because when you look at a player like Jimmy Butler and you saw what he did in Miami when they were the number 8 seed and they had to go into the play-in tournament, and they went out there, they beat the number 1, 2 team, they beat everybody. They actually came out the East that year, if I'm not mistaken. I have to read, I have to go look at that. But I think they came out of the East that year. And that's one reason why I was happy that they acquired him, because I felt like they didn't have nobody on that team to help him. Yeah, Bam did his thing, and towards the end of the end of the finals, they didn't make it far, and that's probably because Jimmy was just burnt out. I mean, they played they played every round. I'm talking about the play-in tournament. I think they took whoever the number 1 team was that year. I think they took them to 6 or 7 games. So they played a lot of games. So I think towards the end of that year, Jimmy just he ran out of gas, and that's fine. It happens. It definitely does happen. Um, with that being said, I do feel like for this team to be successful, for one, they have to stay healthy. This is the oldest team in the league. They have to stay healthy, and everybody has to be consistent. Everybody has to step up and do their part. Speaking of stepping up and doing their part, let's talk about Jonathan Kaminga. Jonathan Kaminga played 33 minutes. He had 17 points. He had 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal. He was +4 on the court, and he had 54.5% shooting from the field goal. 6 from 11. He shot 4 threes out of 6. He was 1 for 2 from the free throw line. I don't like people missing free throws. It's gonna be my biggest pet peeve this year. I'm gonna tell you right now. Any player misses a free throw, I'm gonna call you out on it, because I don't like it. Like, you're there to make a free throw. And we're gonna talk about a certain player that I think has the ceiling to be a great player, but there's 2 things that he desperately has to work on to make him an exceptional player. We're gonna get on him in a minute, and I'm gonna tell you who I'm talking about. He had 2 turnovers, he had 3 personal fouls, 3 and 6 offensive and defensive rebounds. Jonathan Kaminga played good. I was very shocked when they started him, but Maybe that's what Jonathan Kaminga needs. He needs to be started. Now, I don't know if they're going to use I don't know if they're going to start him to use him as I don't know, to just to bait him or to bait other teams to like, pick to do a trade when the free agency happens. I mean, not when the trade deadline happens. If they happen to do that, I hope they get a player that is either like him or a little bit better who can shoot the three ball, but I want a player that can play defense. This is a team that I really have a lot of faith in. So as a fan looking on the outside looking in, I want this team to succeed. And by succeed, I want them to make it out of the Western Conference final. I mean the Western Conference, yeah, the Western Conference finals. The West is stacked. And I think a lot of West teams won last night. I mean, granted, some teams, I mean, I don't think no East or West team played. I have to double check and look. But as I looked, a lot of West teams, a lot of people dropped a lot of 40 ball last night. And we're gonna get into that in a minute. Let me finish this so what we can talk about because I really want to talk about last night. So let's finish these. Let's talk about the chef Stephen Curry. Um 23 points, one rebound, four assists, three steals, one block. He was plus one on the floor. He shot 42.9 from the field. Sorry about that light. He was 6 for 14 from the field goal. Shot the ball 3 out of 9 from the 3-point line. Perfect from the line, free throw line. Two turnovers, three personal fouls, one defensive rebound. I love Steph Curry. I desperately want him to get his ring. If the Warriors do not win it this year, I definitely want the Knicks to win it. I feel like the Warriors can come out of that West, and I want the Knicks to come out of the East. If they happen to play each other in the finals, hey, of course I'm gonna root for the Warriors because I want Steph to get his fifth ring. I won't be satisfied until he get it. So, and I do want the Knicks to get their first one too. So the ceiling is high for both teams. Um, the Warriors played tonight, so I think I'm going to talk a little bit more on them tonight. Buddy Hield also had a good game. He had 17 points, one steal, five plus on the floor. He was 54.5 from the field goal, 6 out of 11, 5 out of 10 from the 3-point line. So he was shooting the ball on that 3-point line, and he only had two turnovers. He did not make it to the free throw line, which is good because he didn't have the chance to miss it. I really don't like that. So yeah, the Warriors. We're gonna talk more about the Warriors tomorrow because they play tonight. And I want to see if they can mimic what they did here. And I think the only thing that I think they would need to clean up is their turnovers. I think they had. Let's see how many turnovers they had. They had 18 turnovers to the Lakers 19. Lakers is just a horrible team, so we expect that. I'm surprised they didn't have 20, but they had 18 turnovers. And the points off of the Lakers turnovers, they had 22 points. But the Lakers also grabbed 23 points from their 18. So if there's anything I want them to fix, is them damn turnovers. We got to take care of the ball. So if you don't take care of the ball, and you're not getting second chance points. They got 10 second chance points. They had 13 fast break points. They had 36 points in the paint, but the Lakers had 62. We have to clean that up. If you're Al Horford, you need to be grabbing rebounds. We brought you over here to do two things. And I'm going to tell you what those two things are. To rebound the fucking ball, for one, and to play defense. We needed a big down there, and that's what they went and got. Now, do I agree with them getting old ass Horford? No, I do not because he's old. He's damn near LeBron age. So I don't agree with it. But he is still well in his career to where he can perform at a high level and he can go out there and get rebounds. Let's see how many. Let's go back to Al Horford. See, let's stay on them for a little bit. So Al Horford had 5 points, 5 rebounds, one assist. He was negative 10 on the floor, 28.6 field goal percent shooting, 2 for 7 from field goal, 1 of 4 from the 3-point line, two turnovers and four personal fouls, five defensive rebounds. Horrible. Horrible. And I say that because, sir, you're not a rookie. And you know exactly what you're doing because for one, you started in Boston, and when you was in Boston, you played hell of a better game that you played last night. I mean, played Wednesday night. So I'm definitely going to need Al Horford to step up as a big because we brought you here to be a big, which means you need to rebound the ball, you need to be playing defense, and creating second chance points. There's no reason why you're so big and you don't have not one offensive rebound. That that's insane. So they need to clean that up. Now let's get to last night's games because there's a couple of games that I only watched two set of games last night out of all games played. And the one I did watch were the Knicks, the Cavaliers versus the Knicks, and I watched Cooper Flag's debut. Which game do I want to talk about first? Because I have a lot to say about both squads. I mean about both games. Let's get into the Knicks. Let's get into the Knicks. Okay, so let's start with the Cavs first. Apparently, the Cavs is missing three players, but ultimately, we're not going to say that's why they lost this game because granted, they were down by what 15, maybe 20 points one time in this game. They came back, but not one single person on this squad was plus. Everybody was either zero, which is only two players, and then everybody else was negative on here. Devon Mitchell, step forward. He was negative 14. Now, I'm trying to figure out where they got the negative 14 from because he had 31 points, two rebounds, five assists, two steals, one block. So you know he was playing defense. Maybe this is where they got his negative from because he was 12 from 25 from the field goal, 2 for 9 from the 3-point line, and he had 48% shooting. He when went to the free throw line, he was perfect. Thank you for hitting your free throws. He definitely had 3 turnovers and 2 personal fouls. So that's probably where the negative 14 come from. He didn't shoot over 50%. Um he played decent. I wouldn't say he played the best brand of basketball I've seen him play. Probably too many Coco Jones in his Coco. So he need to get more focused. But he is planning a wedding, and he's planning a wedding and during season time. But there's no excuse when you're a basketball player. Evan Mobley, I think he had a solid game. 22 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. He was 0 plus and minus on the floor, 44% field goal shooting, 8 for 18 from the field, 4 from 8 from the 3-point line. I love Evan Mobley because he's tall, he's big, but he can also shoot the three ball. Any center or any tall person that can shoot the three ball well, I'm in love with you. I really am. And I say that because that means you know what you're doing. You can shoot the ball, you can get out to the perimeter. If you have to roll out of the lanes and you need if you have to do a screen or whatever case may be, I love the fact that he can roll out of the lanes and get to the top of the key or get to the side because the top of the key is pretty much his spot. So I love when he gets out to the top of the key and he chunks it up there. He was 2 from 5 from the free throw line. Listen, when you calculate, they were only down by 8 points. You missed 3 points at that line. Had you made those 3 points, we'll be looking at what? You'll be down by 5. Okay, free throws are important because especially when a game is close. I can see if you're getting blown out and you're making your free throws, you just didn't play a good game. But when the game is close and you have an opportunity to win it, it comes down to your free throws. We just saw what Houston did. Had Kevin Durant hit his free throw, we wouldn't even have saw what we saw. Free throws are going to be vital to teams this year. I'm already telling because look how they're doing now. Um, there was another player on there. No, he wasn't on the Cavs. Lonzo Ball, he was decent. My dad seems to think he's ass. And after his performance last night, I can see why he would say that. He had 3 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, -3. He was 14.3 from the field goal percent. He was 1 from 7 and 1 from 7 from the 3-point line. 4 turnovers. So yeah, Lonzo Ball, depending on how long Gardner is going to be out, Lonzo has to step up. And I say that because, bro, you are the point guard. So whether you're starting, coming off the bench, you have to have a bigger, more production than that. Now I know Lonzo can ball. I feel like he was very good in Chicago. You know, that injury that he had was very gruesome. A lot of people don't know that he had a very peculiar injury to the point where he had surgery on his knee or his leg or whatever the case may be, and he was still in pain to the point where he could not run. And the doctors was very confused on his prognosis or diagnosis or whatever the case may be. And they ended up fixing it. You know what I'm saying? He's able to run. He's able to play. So it's going to be interesting to see how good of a year he has. You know, him coming back off of that type of injury. That's why I'm going to give him a pass because a lot of people don't know the severity of that injury. I mean, if they didn't come up with the solution that they came up with, he probably wouldn't even be able to play. So the fact that they had to come up with an alternate solution to get him to be comfortable in his body because he was very uncomfortable and he was in pain when and then nobody's ever heard of that before. That is something that he is a player that I'm going to give a pass on tonight with this first game just because that's the injury that nobody saw coming. I mean he's doing good obviously, but I do want to see his ceiling get higher. I don't want to talk about nobody else on the Cavs. Let's go to New York. Um, I love New York. Behind the Warriors, I love Bridges. I love Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns. I love that whole squad. If anybody can come out of the East this year, it is the fucking Knicks. And hear me when I say it. I do believe the Cavs can come out too, but the Cavaliers, the reason why I don't trust them because they were the last team to lose last year behind OKC. Between them and OKC, they had a perfect run up until I think they had a whole month without losing OKC and them. So they did good. But the problem that I have with them and why I called them a fluke last year, I'm going to call them the same fluke this year, is that when it's time to put your money where your mouth is, they get quiet. I don't know who took them out of the first one. I think either the Pacers or the Knicks. And I want to say it was the Pacers that took them out. We're going to see the Pacers play tonight, but Halliburton is not playing, so I don't really care to talk about that game. But um, the Knicks is going to be a problem. And this is why. You had Mikal Bridges with 16 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. He was 54.5%, 6 from 11 from the field goal, 1 from 3 from the three-point line. Perfect from the line. No problems there, sir. No problem at all. He had 3 personal fouls and 1 offensive rebounds. Um, and just to say, they had 5 players in double digits. I just want to put that out there. I haven't seen a team yet with 5 players in double digits. I have to double check and look from the other game, but we'll see. But yeah, so wait a minute. Didn't I talk about the Knicks already? I did. I did. When did you talk about the Knicks again? No, I didn't, because they played last night. Okay, yeah, I'm tripping. Sorry. OG on the Nobly. I love that nigga name. He had 24 points, 14 rebounds. He had a double double. He was plus 10 on the floor, 2 assists, three steals, 1 block. He was 9 for 17 from the field goal, 53% shooting. We gonna say that. I'm not about to be doing all that. 53% shooting. He missed 2 free throws. He also had 12 defensive rebounds. So he played and 2 offensive. Jalen Brunson, he missed 1 free throws. He had 23 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 27.8. And Karl Anthony Towns is Karl Anthony Towns. Like, that's a big that I want on my team. So that's what I'm saying. If the Warriors have to go out and acquire a big, I want you to get acquire a player for Jonathan Kuminga. I'm not saying the Knicks will go for this, but if you don't come out there, if the Warriors don't come out there with Mikal Bridges, or who else could they give up? We'll just say Mikal. Mikal's the only person that I like. And I say that because Mikal's the only player that stays consistent. He's the only player that stays healthy. If you go and look at this man has not lost. This man has him and Looney. They are the only players that I have known in these last couple of seasons who has not missed a game. They have stayed healthy. They have stayed consistent, and they don't miss games. I want Mikal Bridges on my team. If I'm a Warrior fan or a warrior, whatever, I want Mikal Bridges on my team if I had to give up Jonathan Kuminga. I'm not saying that the Knicks would do it. That would be very, very stupid on their part to give up anybody on their team because you have a solid team. So I'm not saying that they will do it. I'm not saying that they should do it. I'm saying simply that if the Warriors are trying to get rid of Kuminga, and that's why they're showing him off right now and having him start, you need to go and get a player You need to go and get a player like that. A player that can stay healthy, a player that can shoot the ball, a player that can play defense, a player that can run out in transition. I'm not saying Jonathan can't do that, but I need a player that can be elevated on his level. Mikal is that guy. Now, enough of the boring shit. I want to get into the game that I really want to talk about. I want to talk about a couple of games. I want to talk about the Spurs in Dallas. Now, when I first saw this game, I said to myself, like, dang, Dallas is missing they are missing Kyrie Irving. So it's gonna be interesting to see who's gonna play the point. And then you see the lineup, you see Cooper Flag is playing the point. And I said, okay, I don't know how well this is gonna work out because I haven't seen the kid play. I didn't see him play in Duke, I just heard of his name. So let's go to their stat. Um Dallas got their ass whooped. Victor Wembanyama dog walked them all. I mean, he dropped 40 fucking points. And five people was in double double. So let's talk about what's his name? Let's talk about this kid right here. His name is D Harper. He was the second overall pick. He had his debut last night too. Nobody really talked about him last night because we were so drugged on Cooper Flag. No disrespect to Cooper Flag at all. You know, when you're the number one overall pick, you deserve to have that spotlight. But here's what I've learned with these number one overall picks. They don't never perform at a high level as you think they are. I think Victor was the one that did it last year. I don't know who was the number one overall pick the year before that. But we always overlook the second overall. I never knew the second overall's name, so it was good to see him play last night. And if I'm a Spurs fan, you got you a good one. He played 23 minutes. He had 15 points. He was +5 on the floor. He had 4 rebounds. He was 7 for 14 from the field goal, 1 for 2 from the 3-point line. Missed 2 free throws. They won the game, but I don't like nobody missing no free throws. I don't care. 4 turnovers, 1 offensive rebound, 3 defensive rebound. Speaking of somebody missing free throws, let's go to the person that I've been dying to talk about. That I think has a high ceiling. Stephon Castle. I love that kid. Watching him play last night, I love him. I can see why he was rookie of the year last year. I love him. I really do. But listen to the commentators talk. They said something about his 3-point. And looking at his number, he was 1 from 3 from the 3-point line, and he was 5 out of 10 from the free throw line. 5 turnovers. Stephon, sir, you are amazing. You definitely have the potential that's needed because when Victor went out, and you got to take into account that they do not have Fox. Fox is out. Didn't know that. So you take into account that Fox is out and Victor is on the bench. Where's your offense is coming from? This kid right here. He had, like I said, he had 23 points. Granted, you had other players that did step up. But I know those players. You know what I'm saying? Castle, I kind of overlooked him last year. Didn't really pay too much attention to him. I'm not even gonna lie. So I'm just now getting caught up on his game. I just know he was a rookie of the year last year, and very well deserved from what I heard. I don't know who else was, running neck and neck with him, but he was rookie of the year last year. He deserved it. He earned it. He was plus 24 on the floor when he was on the floor. He had 2 steals, and he's a hell of a defensive player. I saw him, like I said, I watched this game until they took all their starters out and they put their bench in. That's when I turned the game off. So watching him play, he's a defensive player. I expect him to make all defensive team this year, whether it's first or second. I think he can make all defensive team this year because he's a hell of a defender. And this is why we're going to transition back into Dallas, because this is where Dallas fucked up at. Is my understanding that Cooper Flag has never ever played the one. So why in the hell was he playing the one last night? When you have PJ Washington as a guard, you have you got Klay Thompson as a guard. Well, PJ Washington played forward last night, but you got Christie as a guard and Klay Thompson as a guard. I don't know why the hell they went out and got D'Angelo Russell, but I know Anthony Davis is tired of playing with him. I'm tired of watching him play. He's ass. But I wouldn't have put him. He is ass, but let me tell you, if I was Jason Kidd, Anthony Davis would have played center. Because for one, whoever was playing center last night and guarding Victor, man, Victor caught a body on him. I'm gonna bring that video into this when I find it, but Victor caught a body on him. On top of Cooper Flag cannot play the one. He played 32 minutes. He did have a double double, surprisingly. He had 10 points, 10 rebounds, 1 steal. He was 4 for 13 from the field goal. He missed one 3-pointer. Perfect from the line, thank you. 9 defensive rebounds, 1 offensive, and 3 personal, 3 turnovers. And that was Cooper Flags. And I'm going to say that that 1 turnover came from Stephon Castle guarding him. Stephon Castle probably like this tall. Cooper Flag is he tall. So I don't think Cooper Flag should play the one. To have him play the one was kind of insane and stupid. Because for one, who the hell is he passing the ball to that's better than him? Besides Anthony Davis. No disrespect to Klay Thompson. I'm not going to disrespect him like that because he is a 4-time champion and it's well deserved. But Klay Thompson had 10 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 0 steals, 0 blocks. You want to know why I'm doing 0 steals and 0 blocks? Because this is a defensive player. So when I'm looking at a defensive player who I know, y'all know, he know that can play defense, and you come out there and you do 0 steals, 0 blocks, Klay, who the hell, what the fuck? Somebody had you on lockdown, but you didn't have them on lockdown. So seeing that was kind of disturbing on Klay Thompson's part because, sir, you play defense very well. You know how to lock somebody up. Hell, you locked up Kyrie in the Game 7 finals, and if I'm being 100% honest, had Klay Thompson had guarded Kyrie Irving on that final shot that he shot over Steph, I'm not 100% entirely sure that Kyrie would have made it. And that's only solely because Klay's taller and Klay was a defensive monster back then. That was part of their success that run, him and Draymond, because he knows how to play defense. So, and he knows how to lock down a defender. So it's very unsettling to see that he does not have not. And I watched Klay play too. I didn't like what I saw from Klay. Klay just looks like he's just been dipping and downing too much on that stallion. So he do something different. This was the wrong time to get a relationship, bruh. Like I get it. Like you trying to find love too, no disrespect, but it's the wrong time to find a relationship when you got a point to prove. Anthony Davis, he had 4 fouls in the first half. So his time was limited, but he definitely played 32 minutes, 22 points. He had a double double, 13 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 1 block. Um, PJ Washington had a solid game. 17 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, whatever. And besides trash ass D'Angelo Russell and Najee Marshall, and I don't know whoever this kid is, B. Williams, they missed free throws. I'm going to talk about every team free throws because I'm looking at 2, 6. Oh, hold on. Let me count the ones that they made. 2, 3, 5. I'm looking at 5 potential points. Granted, it would have made no difference to the damn score because they got mollywop, but I'm just saying it helps your cause when you make your free throws. Everybody else was perfect from the line, including Klay Thompson. He was 1-1, but like I said, I don't think Cooper Flag should play the 1. I think Cooper Flag needs to be playing the 3. He can even play the 2 if you want him to play the guard so damn bad. But him bringing up the ball up the floor, I don't think that's going to work. And we saw in the first half, if he was bringing the ball up the floor, it wasn't working. Castle and all the other defenders were able to chastise him and get him uncomfortable with the ball, and they did to the point where he couldn't find his shot. He couldn't get settled. But in the second half, you saw him pretty much, getting to work. He scored his first points. His first set of points in the second half, and that was entirely because he wasn't bringing the ball up the floor. So I don't think moving forward in the next game, whenever they play, and until they get Kyrie Irving, because once they get Kyrie Irving back, it's going to clean up a lot of this because you have a true point guard. He's going to facilitate the offense. He's going to be able to facilitate the ball. He's going to be able to get the ball where he needs the ball to be. So if you got a Cooper Flag open in the corner, if you got an Anthony Davis right here in the center, if you got a Klay Thompson right here, and I'm gonna say PJ because I don't know who in the hell you gonna put in there over PJ. PJ has to be in that starting lineup. I'm looking at Kyrie, PJ, Klay, Cooper, and Anthony Davis starting 5 right there for Dallas. I want Dallas to succeed this year because you have the team to do it. You got the starting 5 to do it. The bench, a little sussy, especially if you got trash ass D'Angelo Russell. You got trash ass D'Angelo Russell on there? Hell nah. I don't see how your ceiling's gonna be high. So hopefully, when it's time to trade deadline, they can go out there and they can focus on their bench because we all know that of course, towards the playoffs, they're gonna run their 5 and probably 2 or 3 guys on the bench. You're gonna need 2 or 3 guys on that bench to get you through the playoffs. And because the West is so stacked right now, you're gonna need a healthy bench. So D'Angelo Russell moving forward when Kyrie comes back is not the player that you want to go in the game and hold down the offense while Kyrie gets his rest. That's not the person that I'm going to trust in my bench offense. I'm sorry. It's no disrespect to D'Angelo Russell, but D'Angelo has not been good since Kobe. And that's just my God honest opinion. When he played with Kobe, he was good. He was better. I don't know what D'Angelo Russell we're looking at, but I don't even know why they grabbed him. So yeah, that's what I see for Dallas and their ceiling. When they're missing Kyrie Irving, when they get Kyrie Irving back, I feel like they can be a strong competitor team. Another team that I want to talk about because I'm not going to go through all the teams, but I am going to we're going to talk about some scores. Let's talk about the Grizzlies and the Pelicans. The reason why I want to talk about the Grizzlies is because I don't want nobody to get hooked up on the fact that Ja Morant went out there and scored 35 points. So what? And I say so what because if Ja Morant goes down right now, you're gonna rely on Jaren Jackson Jr. He's not bad, but you look at that team and they got Caldwell Pope. They know they acquired Caldwell Pope, so that's good. When you look at this team, I'm not impressed with this team at all. I'm just not. I don't see. Granted, they got a lot of injuries. They got B. Clark. He's out. He had a surgery on his right knee. Jerome is out. Right calf strain. Scottie Pippen Jr. is out. Left great toe. Somebody, 2 other players. Oh, and then they got their rookie from last year, left ankle sprain. Okay, so they got one, two, they got 5 injuries, and within those 5 injuries, I see 3 key players that they need to be successful. So just for them to even go out there and get a win with them 3 players out is very it's impressive. I mean, this is the Grizzlies, but this is also the Grizzlies. They were 41 and 80% from the field goal, 30% from the 3 point line, and 81% from the free throw line. They had 17 turnovers as a team, 39 rebounds, 20 assists, 12 blocks, 33 defensive, 6 offensive, and 21 points off of turnovers. So, um, I'm not sold on the Grizzlies. I've never been. The Grizzly has not been accurate or a problem or issue. I feel like since the Warriors took them out in that finals run that they had and they won the championship in 2022. They haven't been relevant in my eyes since, because I feel like that was their year to be relevant. They could have went to the final, I mean to the Western Conference final. I'm not saying that they would have won, but to me that was their calling. Yeah, I'm not impressed with them at all. And that's why I really wanted to say, because they're going to do good in the beginning of this season, and somewhere along the line John Morant is going to get hurt. Now, if John Morant gets hurt this year, I don't know what the Grizzlies are going to do. I don't see how they maneuver through that, because granted they do have the talent, but they are missing something, and I'm not sure what that something is. If I had to say, where is Desmond Bain? Huh. Okay, we have to find where Desmond Bain is, because he last I heard Desmond Bain was on this roster. He wasn't injured, and he's not even on this team. So do y'all know? I don't know where Desmond Bain is. Okay, so that's a mystery. We'll find that out later. Okay. Damn, that kind of got me. Where the hell did he go? Because I didn't see his name on any stat. So whether the Nuggets and the Pacers play tonight for their game opener, so we're gonna see if he's on one of those teams. But that's a problem. Missing Desmond Bain off that team is a problem, because Desmond Bain was probably the one person that I could say that you could trust that offense if he goes out. If he goes out, I don't know who you can facilitate that offense through. Jaren Jackson Jr. He's good. I'm not saying he's bad or anything, but he's a 3 or a 4 for crying out loud. He can't run the point. So Desmond Bain can run the point. John Morant definitely runs the point. That's his damn team. So Scottie Pippen, I think he runs the 2. But I don't know if he can run the point. I haven't really like consistently sat there and watched him play a game, so maybe I need to watch him play. But mm, that's concerning. So that we'll chime back into the Grizzlies a little bit later this week. I want to talk about the last game that I want to talk about is the 76ers versus the Celtics. The 76ers won by 1 point. Granted, Boston is out with their key player, Jason Tatum. He tore his right Achilles. Not sure when he will be back. And as I go through these lineups, I'm just trying to see if I can find Desmond Bain, because I need to know where he went. He's not on the Celtics. But you know who is on the Celtics? And I did not know that. Simmons, the player from Portland that took over when Dame left, he's on there. So with that being said, the Celtics, they were decent. They had 4 players, 5 players in double digits. They were 41 from 91, 45% from the field goal, 26% from the 3 point line, 84% 88% from the free throw line, 11 turnovers, 42 rebounds, 16 assists, 4 blocks, 32 defensive, 10 offensive. They had 14 points off of turnovers. Um 41 from 91 is insane. That's 40, that's 45 40. They took 91 shots, and out of 91 shots they only made 41. That's insane. They shot the ball, they out of 43 3-point attempts, they only made 11. That's insane. And then you missed 3 free throws. What was the score? 117 to 116. You missed 3. Did I say field goals? I meant free throws. You missed 3 free throws. That's insane. So when you look at that, they didn't even have to lose this game. You lost this game because you missed free throws. Free throws. You lost this game because you had 11 turnovers. You lost this game because you shot the ball 91 times. You only made it 41 times. Insane. Like, so the Celtics ceiling, they're as high as they wanted it to go. I mean, when I look at this lineup and I see, I see potential, but Jaylen Brown, he has to be better. There's no reason why every team at least had one player on their team dropping 30 points. Sir, you were the Finals MVP a year ago. But before OKC won theirs, these were the champions. This team right here. There's no reason why I'm looking at Jaylen Brown. You played 36 minutes and you only had 25 points. And I'm saying that because, sir, you are an all-star superstar. Won't you get to the finals? Y'all been twice. You're 1-1. Once you get to the finals and you make the finals and you become finals MVP, sir, there's another level that we expect you to stay at. And that's that level. That means each game you should be dropping 30 to 35 points. There's no reason why the rookie, because we're going to talk about him, the rookie for the 76ers had a better game than you did, sir. There's no excuse for it. And I'm ragging on him so hard because you were the finals MVP. When a lot of people thought that it should have been Jason Tatum. Hell, I thought it should have been Jason Tatum. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And this is why. Because had Jason Tatum would have been out here playing, Jason Tatum would have had 40 points. And I want somebody to tell me otherwise. He was one of the reasons why they lost because he missed a free throw. He was 2 for 4 from the 3-point line. He had 2 turnovers, and he was 5 for 6 from the free throw line. Derek White was 100% from the free throw line. Four out of 13 from the 3-point line, which means, sir, you should have been stopped shooting that ball when you realized you wasn't making them. 4 out of 13 from the 3-point line. You're partially to blame for that 43's attempts, and only 4 mates. Insane. So yeah, um, granted, Jaylen Brown shot the ball well, 50%, 9 out of 18, but I'm not impressed. I'm really not. Because you lost by 1 point and you didn't have to. You missed 2 of your free throws. Had you have made them, we probably looking at a different score. But I'm just saying, like when you get down to these games, these last minute games, it's important that you don't miss these free throws at all. Can't miss free throws. And Jaylen Brown, I don't know. I expect so much from him because at the level that he plays and who he is. Like, he's a champion for crying out loud. They're a champion for a reason. I forgot what team they beat in the finals, but yeah, the Celtics did win after OKC, right? I'm pretty sure they did. We have to go back and look. As a matter of fact, they did because didn't they? Yeah, because right that same year that they went to the Olympics, and Jason Tatum didn't play. That he didn't really play that much in that Olympics. So yeah, to me there's no excuse. you a Finals MVP. There's no excuse for that. Um. So with that being said, that's pretty much the only games I really wanted to talk about tonight. We have the Nuggets visiting the Warriors. The Warriors are 1-0, and we have a finals rematch of OKC and the Pacers. My predictions is simple. We don't know where Desmond Bain is. We have to find him. So I do not know where he is. Let me just check the roster for Denver real quick and see if he's on there. So yeah, Desmond Bain isn't on. He isn't on Denver. There's a reason why I'm looking for him, y'all. I want y'all to know that there's a reason why I am looking for him. So yeah, Desmond Bain isn't on the. He's not on Denver, and he's not on the Pacers. We're gonna find him, and I'm gonna post it on. Gonna post it on my Instagram. So yeah, I think the Warriors can pull out. I think the Warriors can pull out this win. I don't see them losing at home. Um, I don't see them losing at home, and the Pacers, I do see them losing at home without Tyrese. I mean, they lost the finals without him. I don't see them beating OKC without him either. So the Pacers' ceiling is high as Tyrese's injury. You got you got Benedict playing, you got Ben Shepherd, you got Ray Dennis, Cam Jones is out back, you got Johnny Furphy. Um, I don't know none of those players like that, so I don't see the Pacers winning that game at all, especially without Tyrese. Um, so this is concludes. It's not going to be an hour long. It's like 46 minutes. This concludes part two to episode one. Follow my YouTube channel. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow the Instagram page. And tell me in the comments what you think. I put out a lot of shit out there. I think put your comments in. Tell me what you think. I think, like I said, just to recap, I don't think Cooper Flag should play the one. Tell me what you think. What do you think he'll be more successful at? You think he'll be better at the one, better at the four, better at the three? He damn sure don't need to play no two. But I damn sure don't think he need to play the one. Um, do you agree or disagree with me about Jaylen Brown? I think he should be definitely playing at a higher level than, or producing more than when he's producing. 25 points for a Finals MVP. I'm sorry. I'm not impressed. Shea dropped 37, damn near 40, and he's a Finals MVP. Um, the reason why Steph Curry doesn't have to drop that no more because he's already proven himself. I don't want nobody to be like, well, Steph Curry's a Finals MVP. He didn't drop it. He didn't need to. He won his damn game. Jaylen Brown needed to. You're out. You're out your superstar. You have to pick up that slack. I'm sorry. Jason Tatum would have picked up his slack. So I do think Jaylen Brown dropped the ball and they lost. Damn it, we did not talk about the Rook. We got to go back because I got to give that Rook some props. His name is VJ something. Let's talk about him real quick and then I'm done. He did not drop 40. Tyrese did, but he dropped 34. Had a way better game than Jaylen. His name is VJ Edgecombe, I think. I did not see him play. I just saw the numbers that he put up, and they said he was a rookie. He played 42 minutes, 34.7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. 50% from the free field goal, 13 from 26 from shooting, 5 from 13. He missed 3 free throws. 2 turnovers, 6 defensive rebounds. As a team, they didn't play any better. So that's why I'm saying I don't understand how they lost because they shot the ball 85 times and they made 39 shots. They made 43-point attempts and only made it 16 times. They missed 7 free throws, had 14 turnovers, and I think the Celtics had 11. And then they only had 17 points off of the turnovers. Yeah, the Celtics had 11 turnovers. They had 14. So when I look at this and I see that their numbers, I mean that Boston's numbers was better than theirs because, like I said, the Philly shot the ball 85 times from the field goal. They only made it 30. They only made 39. Celtics shot the ball 91 times, made it 41. Philly numbers is a little bit better, but it's kind of fair in certain parts. It's kind of neck and neck in certain areas. Yeah, it's neck and neck in certain areas. When you look at the rebounding, Celtics had two more rebounds than they did. They had three less turnovers than they did. They had two more defensive rebounds than they did. They had more points in the paint than they did, and they had more steals than they did. So when I look at this, I see that the game is pretty equal. Jaylen Brown, you got to step up. You just got to. The game was favored and more on so y'all, and y'all still lost. So Boston, I mean, Jaylen has to step up because Jason Tatum's going to be out for a good part of this season. He might come back towards the end, towards the playoffs, and that's when you need him. You need him because you ain't gonna get through no playoffs without him. Not playing like this, you not. 'Cause this is a game y'all could have won. So not playing like this, you not. So yeah, if you disagree, hit me up. Any other all the other games, I'm just gonna post them what their scores were, or stuff like that, because we'll talk about this all day. I'm just gonna post them and their scores. We did not talk about Minnesota, and just to let you know, Anthony Edwards had 41.7 rebounds, one assist, one block, 50% shooting, 14 from 28 from the field goal, 5 for 10 from the field from the 3-point line. 8 for 8 from the free throw line, 4 turnovers, 4 personal fouls, 1 and 6 offensive and defensive rebounds. So yeah, can't leave any podcast without talking about him. So yeah, I do not want this to be a long podcast, but it's gonna be whatever. Looks like it's gonna be an hour. But anyway, I'm gonna post the rest of the scores for the other teams on the podcast. I mean on the Instagram. So make sure y'all check that out. And like I said, leave comments for them. Like you want to leave comments, go ahead. I'll make sure you're able to leave comments on it, and just tell me what you think. This has been a good part two to episode one. Um, and hopefully y'all be with us for the rest of the season, And yeah, deuces.